Welcome everyone to Morning Flow. My name is Mark Cormier. I'll be practicing with Kathy Cormier. I'll invite you to grab whatever you'd like for your practice. Maybe a bottle of water. Sometimes it's useful to have a strap or a towel, a pillow, whatever is right and good for you. Most important thing in any yoga practice is yourself and everything you need to express yourself fully in all these shapes and all these sequences. Anyway, I'll invite you to come to the top of your yoga space, bringing hands on hips and just marching it side to side, starting to find our balance, starting to wake up our feet, starting to wake up our legs. From this place of marching side to side, I'll invite you to start to get a little smaller, a little slower as we dial it in. And then grounded down through 2 feet as we just shift our weight from side to side. Now coming to center, one more exercise here, just rocking it front to back, staying grounded through the toes, grounded through the heels. And then finding the center of your feet. Now we have a choice, either keeping our stance wide for a good foundation, great choice, or you could challenge that foundation. As you narrow your stance, big toes touch, heels slightly apart. And if when you try that, it doesn't quite work, of course, feeling free to back off. Or if you're starting wide and you start to feel a little more balanced, narrowing the stance. As we stand, I'll invite you to bring your hands by your side as you relax your shoulders, tall through the crown of the head. A slight tuck of the chin as we bring our hands to our heart. A light press of our thumb against our sternum as we line up each finger. If you're comfortable with closing your eyes, and taking a few breaths to watch your breath as it flows in, and as it flows out, arriving here on our yoga mats, ready for a morning flow practice. Lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by our side. Are you ready to step to the mat, Kathy? Why don't you? Let's welcome Kathy Cormier onto the mat. She'll be my student today.
Good morning.
All right. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's bring hands to heart. And just start by watching your breath. Now shaping your breath, long, slow inhalation in. Long, slow exhalation out. Now finding your Ujjayi or victorious breath, slightly constricting the base of your throat, adding a slight sound and feel to your breath. And as we flow through our practice, letting the sound and feel of your breath be a focus for your practice. Now taking the tip of your tongue to the hard palate just behind your teeth, keeping that tongue loop throughout our practice, keeping our jaws relaxed and connecting front and back planes of our bodies. And now with your lips closed, adding a slight smile to your face, opening up the front of your throat so your breath has lots of room to circulate, refresh, and revitalize. Keeping all this, lifting the chin tall through the crown, hands by our side. Keeping it simple, just working with the arms, inhaling arms up and over the head. Exhaling arms down. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling arms down. Adding a forward fold and a back bend. Inhaling arms up. Exhaling, leading with the heart as you fold. Take a breath to arc the back. On the exhale, rounding the spine as you fold again. Inhaling, moving towards a flat back, hinging at the hips, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, hands by your side. 2 more times like this, flowing with your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Breathing in and breathing out. Inhaling up. Exhaling, standing tall. 1 more to go. Breathing in, lifting up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, finding length. Exhaling, folding again. Inhaling, riding the breath up. Exhaling, standing tall. Sun Salutation A. On this first one, I won't cue vinyasa. If you'd like to do it, go for it. I'll just cue the movement back to down dog. Inhaling, arms up and over the head. Exhaling, folding. Breathing in, finding length. Exhaling, folding again, and grounding down through your hands as you make your way back to down dog. Lots of ways to get there. Sometimes the best way to get there is just to get there. As we hold this first down dog, I'll allow you to walk your dog as you bend one leg deeply, grounding down to the opposite heel. And then finding that stretch on the second side. And then freely moving back and forth between the sides, either coordinating it with the breath or just letting your breath be free and easy. Just stretching out your body. How does everything feel this morning? What feels tight? What feels right? What feels somewhere in between? From this place of movement, I'll invite you to move back towards stillness. Long arms, long legs, long spine, deep full breath. And then on the tail end of a breath, I'll invite you to bend your knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little higher. More space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, riding the breath up, arms out to the side and then overhead. Exhaling, hands by your side. Second one, just like the first, this time I'll suggest vinyasa, and the typical vinyasa is going to be your chaturanga, into your up dog, and then back to your down dog. And again, there's many ways to do that. Inhaling up. Exhaling over. Inhaling, finding length. Exhaling, folding again. Now grounding on down and cycling through vinyasa if you choose. Again, you can skip this part. As you exhale into your push-up, feel free to use the knees or not. Inhaling into your back bend via cobra or up dog. And then on the exhale, rolling over the toes as you make your way back to down dog. And holding down dog for 3 to 5 long, slow breaths. As we hold down dog, again, feeling free to hold the pose in stillness or feeling free to add movement. You might choose to walk the dog side to side. When we hold the pose in stillness, things arise of their own accord. When we add a little movement, sometimes we stir it up to get those things to arise maybe a little more quicker. And sometimes quick isn't always the best solution. And sometimes slow isn't always the best solution. Always making choices that serve us in our yoga practice. If you chose to add movement, moving back towards stillness. Long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little higher. More space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you either step or maybe take a jump front. Nice jump. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding. Inhaling, hands overhead pose. Exhaling, standing tall. Let's do one Sun Sal B here. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. That narrower stance is working for you at this point in time. Inhaling into our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, a big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding again. Now grounding on down and making your way back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Your choice. From down dog, flow style. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. Looking between the hands, bringing that right foot through, landing it lightly, spinning the back heel down, back leg long, back leg strong, inhaling arms out to the side and then overhead for warrior one. And then on the exhale, spinning the palms out, grounding down through two hands as you spin that back heel up for low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Your choice. From down dog, second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky for the three-legged dog. High on the right toes. Now looking between the hands, bringing that left foot through, landing it lightly as you spin that back heel down. Arms up and over the head on the inhale. And then on the exhale, spinning palms out, finding your low lunge as you spin that back heel up. And then back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Yogi's choice. Again, as we hold this down dog for 3 to 5 breaths, feeling free to add movement or not, giving your body exactly what it deserves. As we hold down dog, I'll invite you to bring your attention to the base of your throat. From that place, listening and feeling as your breath flows in and out. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail end of that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little higher. More space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you mindfully make your way front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. Exhaling, folding again. On the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up, a little back bend at the top. On the exhale, neutral spine. I'll allow you to bring hands back to the heart, long through the crown with a slight tuck of the chin. Coming back to that internal focus, watching as our breath flows in. And watching as our breath flows out. Lifting the chin tall through the ground, hands by your side. So let's work with the fire breath on this one. It's a short, sharp exhalation out through the nose. So bringing hands on hips, we can either step or maybe jump our feet hip width apart. On the inhale, we'll bring arms up to one side. On the exhale, fire breath, exhale as we pass the hands through center, bending the knees and giving our wrists a flick. And then other side, through the nose. Through the nose. Just through the nose, Scott. Not through the mouth.
It's easier.
Through the nose or through the mouth?
Through the mouth.
This will clear the sinuses a little better, though. Couple more each way. One more each side. And then back to center. And either stepping or jumping it back.
It's finally getting into the rhythm of what you're trying to do.
It's all good. You want to do this some more? Hands
That's
find
all good.
hips. We can do it again. All right. Sunset LC. Inhaling into our chair.
Right.
Exhaling, taking it lower. Inhaling, rising on up. Exhaling, big swan dive over. Take a breath to find length. Exhaling, folding again. And grounding on down, making your way back to down dog, as you will. If you want to try to jump back at any point, go for it. So we'll add a hip opener to our three-legged dog. It's all right. We'll see where we go. We can always change directions. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Right leg high to the sky. High on the left toes. Keeping that right shoulder just as it is. Lifted leg straight as you stack the hips. Now bending that top leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands, bringing that right foot through, spinning the back heel down, arms up and over the head for our warrior one. From warrior one, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips as we spin the back heel up and take a big step in. We're moving towards warrior three here. Starting to balance on that right foot as you lift that back leg up. Warrior three could stay low, where you might start to pitch the body forward as you lengthen through the legs. Nice. Keep grounding down between the big and second toe, so super conscious of the inside edge of the foot. Usually when we fall out of the shape, it's because the ankle buckles out to the side, and we keep that ankle strong. Working arm variations. We can stretch hands back, shoulders stretch away from the ears. Nice. Now stretching the hands out to the side, wide across the front of the heart. Nice. Now the classic X position, we'll sweep the hands front as if you're holding a large glass ball, and then lifting your face to look through that ball. Hands in front come to the heart as we recenter. Heart hands become hip hands as we land that back foot lightly. Coming back to our warrior one prep, finding a length of stance that works for your body and your breath. Getting the stretch your legs deserve without putting yourself in a place of undue stretch. With our hands on our hips, we can steer our hips front. 4 fingers find the tip of a thumb, stretching out the back of our wrist as we try to touch the front of our wrist. And that's it, yeah, just circling. Those little bird beaks, just getting more suppleness in our wrists. We do a lot of wrist work in the flow yoga here, so we want to keep our wrists happy. And then taking those circles the other way. Now bringing those bird beaks onto your shoulders, relaxing your shoulders and squaring your heart front. Now finding a clasp of the fingers behind your head. And then pressing your head into your hands, open heart, open throat, elbows wide to the side. And breathing into that sense of space in 4th and 5th chakra, heart and throat chakra. From here, stretching hands high to the sky. My favorite move, we know it well, breathing in as we gather up the energy. Exhaling cactus arms as we offer it out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. And we're halfway done. The last 2. The last one. Exhale and hold. As we hold cactus arms, the elbows move back, the hands come with, and invite you to ripple your fingers. Keeping our hands nice and simple. From here, I'll invite you to bring hands back to the hips. And let's turn warrior one hips into warrior two hips. As we steer our hips to face the sidewall. Yeah, you're going to switch directions just so people can see your face.
Did I do that? Am I the wrong right now?
Let me, I'm always really bad with this. So now you've got left foot front, so I think you need to face the other direction for right foot front. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
and we want you to face the camera. Nice. So yeah, so a nice length of stance here. She's kicked the back foot in a little bit for heel to arch alignment, which is awesome. And then finding one long arm and looking out over those front fingers with that steady yet relaxed gaze. Yeah, so add your drishti. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. As we hold warrior two, long through both arms, feeling space across front, heart and back heart. So finding more space in your torso. Also more length as the crown of the head stretches front, base of the spine stretches down. Supporting all that action, strong, strong, strong legs. From here, I'll invite you to paint rainbows, another signature move here. Breathing in as we straighten the front leg without locking the knee. Exhaling back to warrior two. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, 2 more to go. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one, breathing in and holding. Reaching up higher, reaching down further. Being very conscious of that front lateral line. With every breath, finding more space between each rib. Just enjoying the stretch. And then on your next exhale, back to your warrior 2. Transitioning to the triangle. Thumb and forefinger find crease of hip and base of rib. You're going to deepen that crease and lengthen those ribs. Keeping a little spring in the knee, you're going to ground your bottom hand down. You can cap the knee if you can resist the temptation of putting weight on the knee. Or you might go a little bit lower. I'll invite you to line the thumb up with the shin bone to open up that bottom shoulder. Top hand can open up top shoulder, nice. And then stretching hand high to the sky. Finding a place to look that works for your breath and balance. Down to the ground, very grounding. Off to the horizon, a little less so. Or up to the sky, past those top fingers, with that steady yet relaxed gaze. As we hold the shape with every inhale, as your diaphragm stretches down towards your navel to expand the lungs, gathering energy in this place, your center of balance, 3 or 4 fingers around the navel on all sides, a big ball of energy. Every time you breathe out, as the diaphragm relaxes and domes up to the heart, sending energy out through both arms, both legs, both ends of the spine. As you make yourself bigger in space from the inside out, connecting with the pulsation of the breath. Moving towards, actually let's add a little breath and movement. We'll take a slow standing sequence here. Exploring that lateral top line, I'll invite you to exhale that top hand front as we turn our heart to the floor. Inhale, stretching hand high. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. We're halfway down. Exhale. And inhale. Last one, we're going to exhale and hold as we reach. Back leg long, back leg strong. Long through the torso, the arm, the fingers. Rippling those fingers. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And now the bottom hand's going to join. We're going to take that little twist out of the torso. Take your time. Inhale up. And exhale it over. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. We're halfway done. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. Last 2. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. One more coming up. We'll hold. Breathing it up. Exhale it over and hold. Strong back legs supporting this unsupported action of the torso. Really feeling strength in your side waist as you reach. And again, rippling those fingers. Nice. And from here, take your time. We're going to move towards the half moon. Top hand finds the hip. We can take a big step in. Right hand off to the right, setting your base with a hand and a foot. Nice use of the, so your outer frame. I'll ask you to back up a little bit, Kathy. Yeah. You want a brick?
No, that would be great.
Yeah.
Just one is fine.
There you go.
Thank you.
Of course. Awesome, beautiful. And either keeping hand on hip or using that hand to open up your shoulder. So I always like that little, you take that top hand and just kind of line that shoulder to open up, yeah. And then keeping that as you stretch the hand high. Again, as you breathe in, breathing in. So this big ball of energy in the very center of yourself. As you breathe out from that place of balance, getting bigger in space, extending energy out through all 4 limbs and both ends of the spine. Either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or challenging your proprioception as you look up to the sky, past those top fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. I'll suggest coming down with ease, landing a short stance, hand finds the hip, back foot comes down. No big deal, we shift the weight into the feet as we come on up. Lengthening our stance, hands on the hips as we get back to our warrior 2, hands leave the hips to find one more arm. Looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. And then from here, I'll suggest a big windmill of the arms as we Spin back heel up for a low lunge. And then back to down dog as you will. Either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Your choice. Again, take your time. Follow your flow. Find your breath. So as an interlude before we find our second side and before you change directions on the mat, or if you want to change directions now, you can. We'll do the second side. At home, feel free to stay right where you are. This is just for the purposes of the video. So yeah, so I'll invite you to come forward to plank pose. And then as you exhale, navel to spine as you lift the hips high. So you're going to take it back to down dog. That's it. Inhaling forward to the plank. On the exhale, navel to spine as you lift the hips high. Inhaling forward to the plank. And then back to down dog. We'll do 3 more. Inhaling forward. Exhale it back. With the breath, breathing it forward. Exhale it back. 1 more time here, breathing it forward. Exhale it back. And then holding your down dog, long, smooth breaths in. Long, smooth breaths out. And now we'll move towards that second side. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Left leg high to the sky, high on the right toes. I think, yeah, so I think we're okay, I guess. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We can always change again. So keeping that left shoulder just as it is.
This is right, yeah.
So left leg up, high on the right toes. Stacking the hips without affecting the shoulder as best you can, maximizing that twist in the torso. Now bending the leg, opening up that hip. And then looking between the hands. So bring that left foot through, spinning the back heel down. Arms up and over the head for a warrior 1. Yeah, you're going to face the camera on that warrior 2 here. Arms up and over the head, warrior 1. From here, we'll bring hands back to the hips as we spin the back heel up and take a big step in, moving towards our warrior 3. I think get back up just a tad. I'm going to start to balance on that left foot. Could be very different on this side. I know my left hip tends to be a little less balanced than my right hip, and that's just part of my yoga. I need to know my body. So finding a warrior 3 that works for you, and we'll play with the arm variations. And as we stretch hands back, shoulders stretch away from the ears, nice. And take your time here. When you're ready, finding your eagle arms, your airplane arms, wide across front and back, heart. And then when you're ready, hands come in front as if you're holding that large glass ball and lifting the face to look through that ball. Yeah, you can play with wrist variations. Again, just letting your body tell you what's right and good for you. That's the beauty of the flow practice. There's lots of room for improvisation. If the hands went in front, I'll invite you to recenter as you bring hands to heart. Nice. And I love the way your fingers are lined up. And then heart hands become hip hands. We'll land that back foot lightly for warrior 1 prep. Once you find a length of stance that works for you, we'll stretch those hands high to the sky. And then signature move here. Breathing in as we gather the energy. Exhaling cactus arms as we offer it out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. The last 2. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last 1. Breathing in. Breathing out and holding cactus arms. The elbows move back. The wrists come with. Rippling those fingers. Open heart, open throat. Just enjoying the stretch. After many years, I figured that most of this stuff should feel pretty good. Yeah, it should. And if it doesn't, maybe do something else. Now let's bring hands back to hips. We're going to turn those warrior 1 hips, the hips face front, to warrior 2 hips. Just assume them out to the side. In order to be super mindful of the knee on that transition. Keeping the knee over the heel and in line with the toes. And if it somehow leaves that track, you can always come back to that track. And then finding 1 long arm, you also narrow the stance just a little bit, heel to arch alignment. You can always work it a little bit wider. In our Warrior Two, let's talk about it just a bit. Long through the arms, tall through the crown. So you're making more space in your torso, and what's going to support that space is the strength of your legs. And one more thing I might say, Kathy, is the most your foot would go, that back foot, would be where it is. You might angle it, and just a tad, that's going to be a little easier on your knee. From here, painting rainbows, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Halfway done, breathing in, breathing out. Last two, breathing in, breathing out. Last one, breathing in and holding the reverse warrior, reaching up higher, reaching down further, being very conscious of that front lateral line with every breath, finding more space between each rib. And then turning the reverse warrior back into warrior two. Transitioning to Trikonasana, thumb and forefinger flank crease of hip and base of rib. You're going to deepen that crease and lengthen those ribs, keeping a little spring in the knee. Grounding bottom hand down, also just lining up the thumb with the shin bone, and if you did want to cap the knee, make sure you don't put any pressure on that knee. Using that top hand to open up top shoulder, and then stretching hand high to the sky. And it might take a couple of breaths to settle into the shape, but once you're in a place where you feel relaxed in the shape, connecting with your breath. So as you breathe in, gathering energy in your center of balance. As you breathe out from that place of balance, getting bigger in space, connecting the center of yourself to the periphery of the room. Finding more amplitude in the shape. And that could be just on an energetic level. You're not actually getting bigger. You're just finding more space inside. Either looking down to the ground, off to the side, or up to the sky. And you could change that if you wanted to work with your neck a little bit. From here, let's add breath and movement as we exhale that top hand front, turning heart to the ground. On the inhale, lifting hand high as we spin heart to sky. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Two more to go here. Exhale. And inhale. Last one, exhale and hold. Back leg long, back leg strong. Long through the torso, the arm, the fingers. You might give those fingers a ripple. Now the bottom hand joins. Pure side motion, take your time. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over. Two more to go here. Breathing it up. Exhale it over. Inhale it up. Exhale it over and hold as you reach. You've got a lot going on here. Those strong legs are supporting that extension through the torso, the arms, the fingers. And then either moving towards our triangle. Take your time. I want you to set the triangle first. And then grab your brick. And you can put that brick outside the calf so you get your triangle going on. Now we're going to move towards the half moon. Hand finds the hip. Bending the front knee a little bit as we take a big step in. Left hand off to the left. Lifting back leg. It looks like you could back up again just a little bit so you're in frame. Nice. Awesome. You want another brick?
No, it's more that I'm trying to be in the frame.
Okay. Yeah, and I love that little adjustment you made. So people always, for some reason, people like to work a narrow stance between the brick and the foot. I like a nice wide stance so you can feel a sense of leaning back into the shape. And also, with the wider base, you've got a better foundation, so you can go bigger in the shape without worrying about falling over. And I said the F word, falling over. My apologies. You don't want to say that in a yoga class because then people do it. Awesome, beautiful. Again, breathing into your center of balance from that place, sending energy out. To come down, I'll suggest hand finds the hip as you land a short stance. No big deal. Weight shifts into the feet. Once you come back up, lengthening the stance, hands can find the hips or not, as you find your warrior two. Once you have the legs, adding the arm, looking out over those front fingers with that mixture of effort and ease. And then from here, a big windmill of the arms as you find your low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. And again, take your time, find your flow, follow your breath. Awesome. As we hold down dog, just watching as your breath flows in and out. A couple different options with the head. Relaxed neck, heavy head's a great way to release any tension in the neck. If you want to find a little more length and space in the neck without shortening the neck, lifting the chin the other way to look back towards your navel. But you want to feel a sense of length through all sides of the neck if you choose that option. From down dog, long, smooth breath in. Long, smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little higher. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take a jump to the front of your mat. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, fold it again. On the inhale, stay low. We'll come back to our chair, knees over toes, hands overhead. Exhaling, taking it lower.
I'm just trying to get in the frame.
No, and I love the way you do that, and it looks like it's a fun part of your practice, and of our practice. So at home, you don't have to do all this jumping around. On the inhale, rising on up.
You can tell I have a job bracelet too much.
And on the exhale, no, you look great. I think we've slowed the practice down a little bit, so you're able to coordinate it with the breath. Actually, I can tell it feels better for everyone, for me too. And we can bring hands back to heart. This time I'll ask you to add that isometric engagement. If you want to face camera, go for it. As you press the palms together, elbows wide, shoulders engaged, a tuck of the tail, a tuck of the chin, connecting with the strength of our center. And then hands by our side. Hands find the hips. Let's shift weight to the right. And let's work a standing half lotus here. Left ankle comes on top of the thigh as you start to sit down in an invisible chair if you don't have the balance yet. So let's see. That's right, yeah. Starting to sit down, yeah. Hands can stay on hips or hands find the heart. Maybe adding that isometric engagement to stabilize the pose. Now that you've found stability in the pose, releasing that engagement as you sweep the hands out to the side and then overhead. Either keeping the hands wide or maybe finding a prayer overhead and pressing the palms together as we strengthen those triceps. Nice. If hands went high, they can come back to the heart. This time a relaxed press of the palms as your weight gathers in that foot. From here, hands can come to the hips. It's all good. Straightening the standing leg, releasing the thigh, lifting that knee high, the toe points down, take your time, find the flamingo first. Feeling free to stay here or leaning a little bit forward as we gather energy into that center of balance as you lengthen through that leg. And you might lean forward, but keep openness here. Yeah, nice. Soft point to the toe. As we hold the shape, I'll invite you to lift the leg higher. And if you want to play with foot variations as you flex and point the toe. Nice. Maybe working a little abduction and adduction of that foot as you turn the foot in and out. Maybe adding rotation as you circle one way and then circle the other. During all that, if the thigh dropped, maybe lifting it up a little higher. Nope. Okay. And then flexing the foot and just sweep it on through. And you can go sideways here. We're going to face, so make sure you face the camera. Warrior one prep. Yeah. I think we're gonna, yeah. It doesn't matter with warrior one too much. You're good. And then sweeping. Those hands high to the sky. Warrior two, yeah. Warrior one. Sorry. From here, let's find a twist. Right hand finds right hip. That's the hip of the front leg. You're gonna find length on the left side,
this is the
reaching
one.
up,
Just realized, right?
and you're gonna twist this way. Yeah. I think we're thinking about it too much here. So you got hand on hip. You're gonna find length on the far side.
That's it, yeah. Okay.
Up, but your hand stays on the hip. You want to keep that hip stable. We're moving towards the twist. Yes. Okay. Up and reach out. Breathing up and reach out. Breathing up and reach out. Halfway done. Up and out. Last two. Up and out. Last one. Up and out. Now we're moving towards the twist. I'll suggest crescent lunge twist as you spin the back of the leg. Starting the twist with the wrist, sliding to the elbow, and then finding your prayer hands. As you press those palms together, isometric engagement, the shoulder blades move around and in, so you're finding more space in heart chakra. And then I'll suggest a little lift to the chin, yeah, space in throat chakra. You're twisted, you're balancing, still breathing. Coming out of the twist easily is hands frame front foot, you're in low lunge. And from low lunge, back to down dog, as you will. Cycling through vinyasa. Or stretching straight back, yogi's choice. Awesome. And coming back to that even breath. From down dog, long smooth breath in. Long smooth breath out. Tail into that breath, bending the knees ever so slightly as you lift the tailbone a little higher. More space in the low back. And then looking between the hands as you either step or take that jump front. Take a breath to find length when you arrive. On the exhale, folding. On the inhale, stay low, back to our chair. Exhaling, taking it lower. On the inhale, rising on up. On the exhale, standing tall. So sneak in that standing half lotus, second side. Shifting the weight to the left as we angle the toes out. And we're going to bring that right ankle on top of the left thigh. With our hands on our hips, sitting down in an invisible chair. When you're ready, hip hands become heart hands. And we can add that isometric engagement, strengthening our triceps, engaging our shoulders. Also sometimes action at the periphery stabilizes the balance. From here, I'll invite you to release that isometric engagement as you sweep the hands out to the side and then overhead. Either keeping the hands apart or finding your prayer overhead. And again, isometrically engaging as we strengthen those triceps. Nice. Hands overhead could come back to the heart. Heart hands can become hip hands. Yeah, I didn't give the cue. Hard hands, just letting the weight gather in the foot. And now hands find the hips as the weight gathers in the foot. We're going to prepare for the other balance. As the foot leaves the thigh, the toe points down for the flamingo. Tall through the crown, long through that leg. Now when you lean forward, I want the lean to be here. But keep the heart and throat chakra nice and open. As you lean a little bit forward, gathering energy in as you lengthen through that leg. Nice. So it starts out with a soft point to the toe. But then when you're ready, adding that flexing and pointing of the foot, just working that ankle, trying to keep the thigh just where it is. Now adding adduction and abduction, turning the foot in and out. Very put no circles yet. And then adding the circles. Nice. Taking those circles the other way. Coming back to that soft point to the toe, seeing if you can lift the leg a little higher. Awesome. And now flexing the foot. As you sweep it on through, finding your warrior one prep. Yeah, I think this is the right direction. We finally figured it out. With left hand on the hip, you're going to twist this way. Yeah, so I want to see your face. And that is, that's your right foot though.
No, that's right. That's what I did because the other side I did. I guess I'm mixed up. But
You mixed up left and right. Okay, but
I
you're
think
gonna do
it's
the,
okay.
you're gonna do the second side.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so hand's gonna ground the hip of that front leg. You're gonna find length on the far side. Inhale. Exhaling, reach, reach, reach. Inhale it up. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. Inhale it up. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. We're halfway done. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now we're moving towards the twist. You're going to spin the back heel up and start the twist with the wrist. So that wrist is going to come there. Yeah. You're going to slide to the elbow. You're going to find your prayer hands. A little tippy here. Again, asymmetrically engaging as we bring those shoulder blades in towards back heart. Opening up front heart, a little lift of the chin. Yeah, a little lift of the chin here. There it is, nice. Really finding space in that fifth chakra, that throat chakra. Of all the chakras, it's the one that I think is probably your daytime chakra. It's how you communicate with other people. And we're getting ready for our day here, so we want that throat to be nice and open. So all our words are clearly heard and clearly expressed. Nice. One more long, slow breath here. And then on an exhale, framing front foot with both hands as you find your lunge. And one more time this morning. Back to down dog as you will, either cycling through vinyasa or stretching straight back. Nice. Nice. And from down dog, I'll invite you to find a child's pose as you land those knees lightly. Big toes touch, heels slightly apart. Sits bones back to the heels. I'll invite you to try to find that sits bone to heel connection. And then keeping that as you start to lengthen through the torso and through the arms. At a certain point, letting the pose relax. For most of us, the heels and sits bones will separate. Forehead presses into the mat, letting that press stimulate the third eye. It's also the sixth chakra. It's a day and nighttime chakra. It's how we know things without knowing how we know them. And if your forehead doesn't easily come down, you could always cross the forearms or make a pair of soft fists. Nice, and Kathy's added some massaging of that third eye, that sixth chakra. And that's a great way just to release any tension in the back of the head, the neck, the shoulders. And then she's chosen to add the arm variation of spinning the palms up. It's a very different shoulder feel. And she's moving back and forth between those two expressions, the hands. From here, I'll invite you to walk your hands back as you bring your feet off to one side. And then making your way onto your back as you find your Shavasana. Either a long, slow roll down, or maybe just plopping down, whatever feels right and good for you. Yeah, finding more length in the body. Awesome. In your Shavasana, I'll invite you to find a place of space. So letting those armpits breathe, separating the inner thighs, scooting the head back as you flatten the shoulders. And whatever else feels right and good for you. So at home, feeling free to stay in your Shavasana as long as you'd like. For the purposes of this class, in this space, coming back to this place just by moving our minds before our bodies, just bringing our attention back to our breath, watching as it flows in and out. Now gently rippling fingers and toes, inviting more life force into our bodies. Inviting that life force in towards center as we gently circle our wrists and our ankles. Adding a little shimmer of the shoulders, a little shake of the hips, whatever feels right and good for you. Now to support the action of the legs, I invite you to pressure back into the mat to recruit your core as you draw one knee in and then the other. Hands catch the shins. Using your thighs to gently massage your center of balance, lifting and lowering the hips side to side, front to back, little circles, whatever feels right and good for you. Now reaching back with a hand to lift and tuck the chin, keeping the neck relaxed. So now use that hand to lift and tuck your chin. Hands come back to the shins. Now do what you have to do here. I want you to massage your spine as you rock yourself front to back, only going to the tips of the shoulders. Now if you need to catch the back of the thighs, feel free to do that. So you want to go big on this. So start small and it gets bigger. That's it. Really feel that massage on your spine. Yeah, a couple more times maybe. I think you'll grow to love this move because I love it. And it feels so good once you kind of get the timing down. Nice. And then a little momentum, a little core engagement, maybe using the hands as we find our sit. As we sit, grounded down through our sits bones, I'll invite you to bring your heels of your hands to your thighs, pushing the thighs away as we settle the shoulders and sit up a little straighter, a little taller. A slight tuck of the chin as two hands find the heart. A light press of your thumb against your sternum as you line up each finger. Soft face, soft eyes, ending our practice as we started, watching as our breath flows in, and watching as our breath flows out. From this place of breath awareness, I invite you to bow as you thank yourself for practicing yoga, and as we offer our practice out to each other and to the world. The light within us honors and respects the light within you. And in this light, we are one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you, Kathy, for practicing with me.
Thank you, everyone.
And thank everyone out there for practicing with us. Next week's special treat will be on the East Coast. Not quite sure what's going to happen, but we'll try to get the class in, although I think it'll be at 10:15 East Coast time, which is the exact same time West Coast. So it'll be this time, but for us, we're going to have to do more of a mid-morning thing, and I also want to maybe invite another student who's been following us from the East Coast for months now, and it's my stepsister-in-law, Claudine, and if she's watching, awesome, and maybe she'll practice with us next week. See you all later.